What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk about dispatch. I wasn't planning on talking about dispatch. That's a touchy subject, but I had a viewer request to talk about dispatch. So, all right, Night Ranger, we're going to talk about dispatch. Let's get started. Now, there's a couple of areas I want to talk about. One thing is wrong information, because some people say, oh man, they told me this, but it was something like wrong loading time or wrong pickup number, stuff like that. I don't think that that's dispatch's fault, because what's in it for them? I think what happens is the customer and the receiver are on the phone. Let's say the receiver says they can deliver it any time they want, it doesn't matter, and the shipper just writes down noon. Well, they give that information to your dispatch, and dispatch tells you noon, and it turns out you can get there at any time. I don't think that that's dispatch, like, intentionally trying to screw you over. Like, what's in it for them? Unless y'all just hate each other, which is a possibility, but now there's one that I side with the drivers on, which is lack of information. I've always felt that dispatch, like, they take all the information they have on the load, then they go, okay, what's the least amount of information I can give to this driver? And then they back it off a little from that, right? Like, what's the least amount? And then we'll take some away from that. They don't want you to have any information. I think the reason why is because the more information they give you, drivers get mischievous. You start giving them telephone numbers and I don't know, any information. They start, oh, well, maybe I can change my appointment time on my own. You know what I'm saying? But as a driver, I want them, just give me everything you got. Give me everything you got, and maybe I need that phone number or whatever. And the last thing I want to cover is the relationship between the driver and dispatch. Some drivers get hired on at a company and they walk in like, what can you do for me? They think the dispatcher is there as like a personal attendant to serve them. I've always taken the opposite approach though, and it's worked for me 100% of the time. Kill them with kindness. Hey, how's it going? Whatever. They're gonna give you the crappy loads that nobody wants. I take them. I'm glad to do that load. And a lot of drivers are like, what? Nobody's getting over on me. They try to give me this load, I'll tell them they can stick it where the sun knows. I'm not doing it, blah. All right, if that's what you want, fine. I'm telling you, I'll let them walk all over me. And within a month, all of a sudden, guess what? They're on your side now. Because it's almost like that's their test. They're like, this driver, we gave this guy a shit sandwich and he ate it and asked for seconds. Next thing you know, they want to work with you. There's no power struggle anymore, like who's in charge here. We now have a partnership, right? They know that I'm willing to take one for the team every now and then if I need something, they're now willing to reciprocate. But if you want to come at them with that whole, I'm the driver and you only have a job because of me, because I'm delivering this product. And you're right, the driver, everybody in the office, dispatch, management, they only have a job because of us, because we're the ones delivering the product. That's the truth. But that shouldn't be your attitude, right? My attitude is I want to develop a partnership with my dispatchers, and we're working together. And man, when you do that, it goes so much more smoothly. I'll give you an example. I was at this company, I picked up a load in Denver, I think probably on a Thursday, and it had to be delivered in Kansas City, Missouri, KC Mo, on a Friday. And it was 4 deliveries on one trailer. Well, I was about 2 hours away from the first one on Friday, and I start calling. Well, nobody answered. I called all 4 of these customers, all separate deliveries. Nobody answered. I was like, something's wrong. Called dispatch. I said, I just want to let you know, I called all 4 of these stops. Nobody answered, and I called multiple times. She said, all right, let me see what's going on. She calls me back about 10 minutes later. I could hear it in her voice. It's bad news, and she was apprehensive about having to tell me this. She's like, I don't know how to say this, but all of those stores are having inventory done. They're counting all the product in the warehouse, and they can't receive deliveries today. They're closed on a weekend, so you're just gonna have to wait until Monday to deliver. Now, this company didn't have layover pay. They don't put you up in a hotel. I had to sit in the truck with no APU Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 days, and then start delivering these 4 on Monday. Now, she was ready for me to go ape you know what on her. But guess what I did? I said, oh, okay, well, stuff happens, no problem. She didn't even know what to say. She was like, because she was ready for a fight, you know what I'm saying? Most drivers would have been like, what are you talking about? You need to fly me home. If I'm not sitting in this truck for 3 days, you know what I'm saying? I just said, whatever. And she's like, wow, thank you for being so understanding. So I said, look, it's trucking. If you can't handle stuff going wrong, then you're in the wrong industry. So I took one for the team. I didn't complain, and I had a cheerful disposition. I was cheerful, Jay, right? Well, now she owes me one. And guess what my reward was? I got to pick my next. When I got back, she's like, here's all the loads I got, pick whatever one you want. Once you build that relationship, you're now their top driver, and they want to take care of you because they don't want you to quit. When it was home time, it's like, well, you get 1 day off for every week you're out. My home time, you let me know when you're ready to come back, Jay. Right? Because I went the extra mile and I didn't bitch and complain, basically. So that's it for my little spiel on dispatch. I appreciate you watching. For those of you who are not sticking around for story time, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For those of you who are sticking around for story time, let's do story time. Last week I was picking on the Russians and Eastern Europeans a little bit, and this week we're gonna do the Indians. I want to talk about Indian truck stops. And just as an aside, in case you didn't see the video last week, I was talking about how I thought people would get offended, and I almost, when I was editing the video, I almost didn't include this part in. But I was talking about how Americans can't tell one Slavic accent apart from another. So if you're from Moscow, Prague, Bucharest, Kiev, Budapest, I'm naming all the capital cities in Eastern Europe, we can't tell the accent. We can't tell where you're from, right? All Americans are soft and weak. Their children drink fresh water from plastic bottle. When I was small child, we had to wait for heavy rain to fill our pots with water. With water. I'm not gonna do the Indian accent because it'll definitely come off as racist. So let's do story time about Indian truck stops. Some of them are real nice. There's a Stuckey's on the I-10 service road, I-10 West, in Texas, close to Anahuac. I know it's pronounced Anahuac, but I like pronouncing it Anahuac. And it's spotless. The bathrooms are clean. They've got a burger joint in there with, you can see the kitchen, it's clean. The burgers are excellent, by the way. Then there's Indian truck stops like the Cowboy one in Marshall, Texas. I went in there and there's an Indian restaurant in there. I've never had Indian food, and I thought, well, let me try it. You know, it might be good, but I didn't know what to order. They had something called butter chicken. I said, well, I like butter, I like chicken. So I Googled, what's the recipe? I said, give me that. Well, ate it, it was all right. Walked back to the truck, and I knew not to get undressed because I had a feeling that in 5 minutes, my stomach would be saying, you better make a run for it, brother. Sure enough, 5 minutes, I was running to the bathroom. This is where the story picks up. There's something about Indian truck stops, not the ones that are taken care of really well, but the poorly run runs. When something breaks, they just don't fix it. They just go, well, it was nice having it. Like this particular one, there was a laundry room. I think it had like 2 washers and 2 dryers. They broke, so they just put laundry room out of service. Like, that's it. No more laundry room. They had showers, all the showers. Once the shower breaks, it's leaking or whatever, drains clogged, that's it. It's done. We don't have showers. All of them closed. All right, so let's cut to after I ate. I go into the men's room, and of course, they wouldn't have modern conveniences like soap or anything like that in there. But there's 1 stall and 1 urinal. No paper towels, no soap, and it smells like the worst slum in Mumbai that you can think of. I go in the stall and the toilet is clogged. Hey, why fix it? It's just, the toilet's just clogged from now on. And you gotta understand the level of bathroom emergency we're talking about here. You can imagine, I just ate Indian food for the first time. And then I looked down. I know y'all have all been in a commercial bathroom. They have those floor drains and the floor slopes down, so when they mop, the water can just, or if there's an overflow, the water will just go in there. The drain was clogged, and there's like 2 inches of standing water that I'm in that I didn't even realize, because why get the drain unclogged? Once it's clogged, that's it, right? So I thought, I don't care, level 5 emergency. I just had, and then I thought, whoa, check for toilet paper. No toilet paper. Now I have a quick decision to make, right? Because I'm ready to explode. No toilet paper, toilets clogged, no paper towels, no, just soap. They just not, what is this soap you speak of? So I didn't know what to do. So I thought, you know what? Women are the fairer sex. I really respect women. I like women a lot. I know a little bit about them, and I know no woman would disgrace herself by going into an Indian bathroom. So I bet that women's restroom is empty right now. So I thought, remember, emergency, right? So I go out of the men's room and I go across the hall to the women's room, and I thought, what do I do? So I knocked on the door and said, maintenance, maintenance. No answer. I didn't hear anything. So I cracked the door open a couple inches and I knocked and said, maintenance. Nothing. Just as I thought. So I just went in there, went to the first stall. It smelled, well, it didn't smell good, but it smelled neutral. There was toilet paper. It was clean. The toilet was clean. It was just like, you couldn't, night and day difference. I had all the time in the world. I could have sat down on the floor and did crossword puzzles. It didn't matter. No woman was coming in there. When I was finished, boom, throw open the door, go wash my hands, because there's soap in there, and paper towels. Wash my hands, take my time, straighten out my collar. I didn't have to worry, because no woman would disgrace herself by going into Indian restaurant. And I just walked out. I think it's the level of dirty and run down. Like I said, when something breaks, that's it. We used to have washing machines. We still do, but we used to too. Right? It just, I don't know. So that's my story about Indian bathrooms, Indian truck stops. I hope no Indians were offended in the making of this video. It's more or less done in good humor. But if you were offended, well, talk to your people. All right, that's it for this video. I hope you join me on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. And until the next one, this is Jason, signing out.